Creation begins where authority is spoken and power is acted upon. When we look at the creation story in Genesis chapter 1, we see whenever something was created, first God said, and we'll see that he created. In chapter 1, verse 26, we see, for man, he said, let us make man in our own image, so that man will reign over the creation. And in the same Genesis 1:27, that is in the next verse, we see he created man, male and female, and went on to bless them, to take dominion, replenish the earth, and multiply. We see that to create, you have to speak with authority and you have to act with power, because when God spoke, he still created, did that which he spoke. Many times the problem with us creating or being creative is that many times we speak with authority, but we end up not backing that authoritative word with power. Everything that is made always goes through Christ. John chapter 1 verse 3, all things that were made through him. So it is through Christ that we find the true creativity in us. We were made in God's image. So if we are in God's image and God created with authority and power, it means we also have that ability in us through God to create with authority and power. Authority has to go with what you say. Power has to go with what you do. In the name of Jesus, every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess. That is authority. You make people bow when you speak in authority. But what happens next is a result of power. You see, Jesus said something to his disciples that all authority in heaven and on earth has been given to him, and it is in that authority that is telling them to therefore go into the world and make disciples of all nations. He told them something in Acts, that before they wield that authority, they should tarry. They'll go to Judea, Samaria, and to the uttermost part of the earth, but they need to tarry till they receive the power factor before they can effectively wield that authority that they have in him. So for us to wield authority, we need power, and we get power how? They should wait on him. They should tarry, that when the power comes upon them, they can function. And we see that they tarried and the power came upon them in Acts chapter 2. Have you ever seen when two people are in a very tense situation where everybody's exchanging words and it's like they want to have it, they want to go down? And many times what we see is that at that point, everybody is rated based on the power of the words they speak, because it is words that drive that situation. But when the chips are down and they get into it, we see that the winner is who has more power, who has more strength when the fight begins. Power is a function of capacity. You need to build capacity before you can have power. As people sometimes say, talk is cheap, but actions are not cheap. So for you to effectively create, to become that person that God has designed you to be, you need to build capacity in power. Yes, you have the authority. You need to build capacity in power so that you can act upon that authority in which you have.